This time, a series of videos looking at some of the best and worst Mania records. Did you know that John Cena has had 60 matches, losing 6 of them? And as said in the John Cena video, there were more title matches than non-title matches at Mania. Who's had the best record out of The Undertaker, Edge, The Rock, or even Charlotte Flair? Well, the obvious answer of arguably the best, or at least most iconic record at WrestleMania would be The Undertaker, which you should know, or are you even a wrestling fan? Unless you're a new gen and don't know who The Undertaker is, in which case I will still question your wrestling chops. But he hung up his boots after his cinematic match with AJ Styles, ending with a 23-2 record, and only Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns besting him at the show of shows. But let's look at some of the other big stars. I suppose we should talk about Hulk Hogan. He had 12 matches, losing 3 of them to The Rock, of course, the Ultimate Warrior, and against Money Inc. via DQ at WrestleMania 4. Fun fact, politician Hulk Hogan came out again at the end of the night, and for Bret Hart, who lost the title to Yokozuna via shenanigans, challenged him for the belt and won in 21 seconds. Speaking of The Rock, he is 6-5 with the iconic Hulk Hogan match at Mania 18 and Twice in a Lifetime versus John Cena. Stone Cold Steve Austin only had 8 Mania matches in his career, winning 6 and losing 2 only to The Rock in what was expected to be his last ever match at Mania 19 in the end of their trilogy, before returning to beat Kevin Owens at Mania 36. The other loss was of course the iconic double turn with Bret Hart at Mania 13. Trish Stratus has a decent record of 4-2, however the only 2 were singles matches, and one of them being the infamous Mickie James match. Fun fact, she never had a 1v1 versus Lita at WrestleMania, and that's what should have happened 2 years ago, but hey ho. Edge has a better record than most, even John Cena, with 10-4, winning his first 5 matches, his first 2 being the iconic TLC matches with Christian versus the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys, but losing his next 3, one of which was in the Money in the Bank match. His final loss was the fantastic triple threat versus Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Let's end this first part on Charlotte Flair, who of course has a stellar record of, checks notes, 4-3. Wow, given someone of Charlotte's sway in the industry, I thought that she would have a much better record. Nevertheless, there were still wins in there that never should have happened, like beating Ronda Rousey for Ronda to just take the title back at the next pay-per-view, or against Rhea Ripley for the NXT title, which would have elevated her and the title had Rhea won. But nope, Charlotte won despite having no business going after the NXT title. Made the title seem big at the time, but in the end there wasn't much elevation for the title or the holders. Like, follow, comment, and stay tuned for the next one.